Hello investors. Now many times in Lagos a lot of properties are put out as a buy and build property, probably due to the fact that there are a couple of structures within the neighborhood. But wait a minute, is that all it takes to have a buy and build property? Certainly not. On this video today, I will be sharing with you some basic features you should look out for when picking a buy and build property. And beyond that, you will also be learning why Itunu Residential stands out as the best option for a buy and build property right here in Ibeju Lekki. More reason why you need to watch this very video from the beginning to the end, because you will be better informed to make your real estate investment decision as an investor. Go nowhere, I will be right back. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. So like I said earlier, that when choosing a buy and build property, it goes beyond having a property where you already have a couple of buildings as neighborhoods. It also includes some other factors that can actually enable you to start building immediately. Now this is important because for those of you who have invested in the past, you will agree with me that sometimes you end up buying a so-called buy and build property, but when you look around, you actually cannot start building immediately. And so the question then becomes, what are these other features that should complement the issue of neighborhood that you should also look out for when buying a property? One of these features you should look out for, right, when picking a buy and build property is accessibility. And on this, I will use Itunu Residential as a very good example. Now, the access road to Itunu Residential is smooth. It's a 6-lane concrete paved expressway, right? Not forgetting the fact that Itunu Residential is directly facing the express road. Now, what this means is that when you buy such a property as a buy and build, you can easily drive into the estate, right? Once you veer off the expressway, entering into Itunu Residential, you will also see a beautiful landscape. You see a massive car park, you see a serene environment. Now, this complements the issue of having structures within the neighborhood. And so you have an estate that you can easily access. And now, beyond the major access road, you also have a beautiful internal road. And so driving from the access road down into the front view of the estate, into the visitors car park, and then downward inside the estate, you have a smooth road infrastructure, which means that if you start living in such environment, you can easily access your apartment. The issue of accessibility is one thing you should look out for. Aside the issue of having one or two structures within the neighborhood, you should also look out for the issue of accessibility. How accessible is this very land or this very property I am buying? And like I said, this is one of the reasons to why Itunu Residential remains the best option for a buy and build property, because today, not only does Itunu Residential boast of access road, even within the estate there is a lot of massive internal road construction that is ongoing. You can watch details of that on the video I presented earlier. I will drop the link on the bio of this video. So accessibility is one of the other features you should look out for to complement the issue of neighborhood when choosing a buy and build property. The number 2 feature you should look out for when picking a buy and build property is infrastructure. Yes, infrastructure is very important and is one of the things that can motivate an investor to start living in an estate, even if nobody is already living there. By infrastructure, this goes beyond the normal perimeter fence or maybe beautiful view some estates usually have, and by the time you go in, you find out that nothing is actually happening inside. Possibly all of those front view is just to attract investors. When you are looking out for a buy and build property, it should go beyond this. Yes, and this is why Itunu Residential again remains a viable option on this. If you go to Itunu Residential today, beyond the issue of accessibility, you will also see a lot of amazing infrastructure. You see a beautiful car park, you see a beautiful gatehouse, you see visitors checking point, street lighting, you see CCTV camera, you see a beautifully laid out internal road, you see a beautiful green area. So all of the infrastructures that actually should make for a healthy living within the estate is already in place. Aside the internal road that I mentioned earlier, you have all of this infrastructure. The estate is fully gated. So the issue of infrastructure is another major feature that you should look out for when picking a buy and build property. The level of infrastructure in an estate should influence your decision whether you can actually start building in that estate immediately. The issue of electricity, all of this should be in place. When you add this with the issue of neighborhood, then you can actually have a property or you can call a buy and build property. So the point here is that beyond the issue of having maybe one or two structures within the neighborhood, you should also look at for infrastructure. because infrastructure will go a long way should you decide to start living in that estate. I can tell you this as a consultant who have been in this industry for a long time now, that this is just the reality. All right, there's no sugarcoating here. This is the reality when it comes to buy and build property. So when someone tells you, okay, this property is a buy and build, it should go beyond the fact that there are one or two structures within the environment. You should look into the estate and ask, or maybe try to know when you go for inspection, what is in this estate, what is the level of infrastructure that is on ground in this estate that can actually inspire me to start living in the estate immediately. If I build an apartment here and I want to put it out for rent, will I be able to attract people to live in this estate? Is infrastructure that will actually help to decide or answer those kind of questions. All right, if you live, you know, or work within the Lekki Free Trade Zone, or maybe within the Alaro city or something like that, because you want to stay within the proximity of work, can you start actually building? It is infrastructure that will help you to make that decision. So this is very important. Now, before I share with you the third feature you need to watch out for when picking a buy and build property, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please can I beg you now to hit the subscribe bell, click the notification bell, so that you can always get interesting update on this platform whenever I drop exciting content right on this platform. And please don't also forget to share this. Knowledge, they say, is power. I have constantly said that when it comes to real estate investment in Nigeria, one way you can have the best of your real estate investment in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos, is by having the right information. Because when you have the right information, right, you can make the best investment decision. So please do well to share this across the social media platform. Share it to your friends, share it to your family, share it to your loved one. Let them have this information so that they can make better informed decision. Having said that, the third feature you should look out for when picking a buy and build property is security. This is very important. I agree that one of the importance of having some structures within the neighborhood of a property is because such structure form a part of the security of that environment. But beyond that, there should be internal security measures for the estate. Yes, and again, this is another reason why Itunu Residential is still the best buy and build property within Ibeju Lekki today. Because if you go to Itunu Residential, beyond the issue of accessibility, beyond the issue of infrastructure, the beautiful car park, the sporting complex, you know, all of the features that you can see even right on your video as I speak, Itunu also today has two major security mechanisms. First, it has the normal security personnel who stand on the security post, you know, to open the gate and all of that, and also, of course, they live there. Secondly, Itunu Residential also have some MUPO personnel who watch over that environment 24/7. Every time you go to Itunu Residential, a lot of MUPO, you know, personnel who watch over that estate. Now, what that means is that as an investor, if you buy into Itunu Residential, right, you can start living in that estate. You already have two security architecture in place. Aside the other issue of electricity, CCTV camera, and you know, solar powered lightning, which also form part of the security for that environment. So this is what it means to have a buy and build property. Because yes, you buy the land now. Let's say you buy 300 square meter now in Itunu Residential that is currently selling for 17 million naira all inclusive, or maybe you buy 500 square meter that is currently selling for 28 million naira. You can start building immediately because you can be rest assured that there is security in that environment, which I know that as an investor is part of what you are looking at for when also picking up a buy and build property. So number 3 is security. This is very important, and like I said, Itunu Residential comes very handy in this, because today, aside the issue of accessibility, infrastructure, Itunu Residential also boasts of excellent security measures that is meant to ensure the security of lives and properties within that environment. The more reason why, if you are looking for a buy and build property today within the Ibeju Lekki axis of Lagos, Itunu Residential should be your number 1 choice. Keep watching as I share more points with you. Now, the next feature you should look out for when picking a buy and build property is apartment. Now, like we said earlier, beyond having probably 1 or 2 structures within the estate vicinity, it's also important you have structures inside the estate itself. And this is again where Itunu Residential comes out as a top choice, because as we speak today for Itunu Residential, we have apartments that is selling. Yes, this is because the developer of that estate has announced the construction of apartments inside that estate. So in Itunu residential, we'll be having bungalows, I will be having terraces. Now what this means is that when you buy into Itunu residential, you as an investor, you can start building immediately, because probably by the time you are done with your own building, you have other structures within that same environment. And you know what that means? It means that you begin to have neighbors, not outside the estate now, but you have structures within the estate. This is also important because it will also further enhance your security as someone who is living in the estate. And let me also share this pro tip that for early birds who will start building inside Itunu residential, don't forget that as we are working on all of these internal roads, some of those roads have not been named. So for those persons who will start building immediately, you probably may be lucky enough and some of the clothes could be named after you and all of that. This is a pro tip and I hope you take advantage of it. But the point is that apartment is one other feature you should look out for. What are the structures inside the estate, outside the structures you have outside the estate or within the environment? Do you have structures within the estate? If there is none, is there a plan for the developer or to start building structures within the estate as to speak? Because why this is important many times is this: if there are structures within the estate, or if the developer has a plan of building structures within the estate, you find out that many times they will upgrade the infrastructure in terms of internal roads, in terms of security and all of that, because nobody will want to build a structure where you don't have some of these basic amenities. But if there are no such plan to have a structure, you find out that the place will just be bushy, and so if you want to build anything, you have to go and clear the environment. So this is very important. Those apartments are off-plan projects. If you secure your 500 square meters, right, and you decide to start building immediately, which of course will encourage you to do, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to share. And don't forget that all you need to own a space at Itunu residential is to call or send a WhatsApp message to the number that is showing on your screen. And with that, wherever you live within and outside Nigeria, I will gladly help you to become a proud landlord inside the best buy and build residential site and service estate development right here at Ibeju Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria. Keep watching. The next feature you should look out for when picking a buy and build property is the issue of title. Yes, you should ask the question, what title does this property have? Does this property come with a title that is secured? And again, I will use Itunu residential as a good example. And another reason why Itunu residential remains a top choice, because Itunu residential has a C of O. The average investor in Nigeria knows that when you talk about titles in Nigeria, C of O is the most popular and of course one of the very reliable titles a property can have. So you have an estate that is easily accessible, that boasts of amazing infrastructure, also has good title. That is one other thing you should look at, because many times you don't want to buy a property that you begin to struggle to upgrade the title. And so Itunu residential comes with a good title of a C of O, and that is one other feature you should look out for. Outside the neighborhood, inquire on the actual title of a property in Lagos before buying. Now the next feature you need to look out for when choosing a buy and build property is fast value appreciation. Now, when Itunu residential was launched in February 2022, it sold within an average 15 million naira. Now, it later appreciated to about 35 million naira. And guess what? Itunu residential sold like wildfire. That is because a lot of investors saw the massive infrastructure we mapped out, and to the glory of God, we have been able to implement more than majority of those infrastructures. And as I speak, we are still working. Now, after that, we closed sales. Reopening sales this year, we have to sell at a discounted price of 28 million naira. And as we speak, we are currently working on the internal roads. Like I said earlier, you can watch that through the video that I will be dropping the link on the bio of this video. Now, in the next few months, Itunu residential will appreciate to about 60 million naira average. How will that work? You also can find out details of that on the video I did some few days ago. I will also drop the link on the bio of this video. But the summary is that currently Itunu residential is selling for 28 million naira, this being a discounted price. Once we are done with the internal roads we are doing, once we also complete the underground wiring, the central sewage system and all of that we have also mapped out, Itunu Residential will further appreciate to 40 million naira. And then once we unveil the family entertainment center being one of the major features of that estate, Itunu will appreciate to 60 million naira. So this means that as an investor, if you buy into Itunu Residential today and you want to resell in the next few months, you should be doing an average of 65 to 70 million naira, because of course, if the estate is selling for 60 million naira, you can decide to sell yours for 65 million or more. It's business, right? So this is what it means for fast value appreciation. And of course, you begin to ask, why is Itunu Residential appreciating so fast in value? Look, properties don't just appreciate. There are factors that causes property value appreciation, and all of them is available at Itunu Residential. Like I mentioned earlier, you have accessibility, you have location, you have infrastructure, you have security, you have activities. All of this put together is causing fast value appreciation for Itunu Residential, because with the level of infrastructure that we have in place and what we are bringing on board, you can be rest assured that Itunu Residential will appreciate so fast in value. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to share this video with your loved ones, with your friends, your network. Please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell of this YouTube channel. The advantage is that once you turn on the notification bell, each time we premiere a video on this platform, you will be among the first to watch it. So please do well to do that. Now, the number 7 feature you should look out for when buying a buy and build property, and again why Itunu Residential remains the number 1 top choice buy and build property within Ibeju Lekki today, is easy buy. Many times I tell investors that real estate acquisition in Nigeria has been simplified. Many years ago, real estate acquisition was majorly a one-off thing, and by that I mean that if you wanted to invest, you had to make payment once for you to possess a property. But today we have introduced installment payment, and for Itunu Residential it comes with a 12-month installment payment, which means that after the initial deposit of 5 million naira, you can either spread your balance within a period of 6 months or 12 months. Now what this does is that it enables you to pay for the property and also meet up with other financial needs. We understand that among the investors, we have different level of income earners. There are people who can afford to do an outright purchase of 0 to 3 months, and there are others who can afford 0 to 6 months, and there are also others who can afford 0 to 12 months. So we had to create an avenue for all category of investors in order to encourage them to own an investment. So again, Itunu Residential features an easy buy, because after the initial deposit of 5 million naira, either for the land or for the apartment, you can spread your balance within a period of 12 months. And the good thing again is that the payment is all inclusive. Currently 500 square meters is selling at a discounted price of 28 million naira, and that 28 million naira is all inclusive, which means there are no other hidden charges, there is no statutory fee, everything is all inclusive. The same thing for the 300 square meters that is selling 17 million naira. All of the prices are all inclusive, so there is no issue of okay, when you finish paying for the land, you come and pay for documentation, and no, everything is all in one. Another amazing reason why I think for you who is watching this now, and you know someone who also is looking for a buy and build property in Ibeju Lekki, Itunu Residential is my number 1 recommendation for you, and I'm doing so with my full chest, because I know what is in place there and I know what is coming there, and so I confidently recommend Itunu Residential. I hope you've enjoyed this video so far. As I share the last feature you should look out for when picking a buy and build property beyond the neighborhood. But please don't forget that all you need to secure a space in this beautiful Itunu Residential, wherever you're watching this video from, within and outside Nigeria, is to call now, send a WhatsApp message to the number that is shown on your screen, and with that we can begin the process of you becoming a proud landlord right at Itunu Residential. And again, please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, can I beg you again to please take out some seconds, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and also please click the share button. Very, very important. We need this visibility in order to reach more people to share our message. Having said that, here is the number 8 feature you should look out for when picking a buy and build property, and that is what? Proximity. Proximity is very important, and again, Itunu Residential is a good example. Like I mentioned earlier, Itunu Residential is situated about 10 kilometers from the Lekki Free Trade Zone. The neighborhood is amazing. Also add that Itunu Residential has two major entrances. Currently, the one that is open is the one that is directly facing the 18-kilometer 6-lane Lekki Expressway. The other access point is the road that directly leads to the proposed Lekki International Airport. Yes, there will be a back gate that will take you adjacent the proposed Lekki International Airport. And so the point here is that Itunu Residential has a close proximity to the Lekki Expressway, to the proposed Fourth Mainland Bridge, to Alaro City, and other amazing neighborhoods that cannot be overemphasized. And so you need a property that is also close to, banks, is close to hospitals, is close to investment. You have the deep sea port, you have the newly commissioned Dangote refinery, you have the Alaro City, and you have the Fourth Mainland. So you have a property that is in the midst of a lot of development, which means that if you work or do business within such environment, you will be having the best of your investment. And if you decide to resell, because over time all of these activities put together also cause the property value to appreciate. So proximity is key, and that is the last feature I would like to share with you that you should look out for when picking a buy and build property. So again, so far in this video we have looked at 8 features you should look out for when picking a property beyond the issue of having structures within the neighborhood. You should look out for accessibility. You should look out for infrastructure. You should look out for apartments. You should look out for good title. You should look out for security. You should look out for fast value property appreciation. You should look out for easy buy. You should look out for proximity and all of that. And I can assure you that if you follow this guideline, the next time you buy and build property, you will discover that it's truly a property you can start building immediately. Not the so-called buy and build properties that you have to wait for another 3-4 years. Now, having said all of this, what does it take for you to own pieces of Itunu Residential? Like I mentioned in the course of my presentation, all you need to do is to reach out to me right now. Call, send a WhatsApp message to the number that is showing on your screen, and with that, you can be a proud property owner right inside Itunu Residential. And I assure you that you will be glad you did. Again, my name is Ibeju Lekki, your former real estate broker right in the city of Lagos, and it's always a pleasure to bring you the right information to guide your real estate investment decision right here in Nigeria. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.